I don't think anyone saw that coming.
Had to put my balls on the table and take the Packers there. I wonder if I'll put them back on the table for this show. I'll have to see. But
They're hitting over, so if you're a betting man, you'll thank me later. Just so excited to watch that game,
Oh,
dude.
it's gonna be great.
I was feeling it. I was asking God what he thinks, and he told me the under. Welcome to Catching a Vibe. This is episode 33. I'm your host, Drew. And today I'm joined once again by my boys. I got Chris Pinnell and Andrew Brady back on to talk the divisional round. Fellas, how are we doing today?
Feeling good, Drew. Glad to be back, and should be another great round of playoff games. Well, I don't want to say great because some of those games were blowouts, but I think we had some fun ones this week.
Yeah, super shocking, honestly, by the blowouts. But Andrew, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I mean, last week there were some very shocking outcomes. You know, the Texans running over the Browns definitely surprised me. And although I picked the Packers to beat Dallas, I mean, I wasn't picking them to go out there and smash Dallas and completely embarrass them at home. But that happened as well. The Bills-Steelers game wasn't that competitive. But, you know, I think we have 4 good games here. My favorite being the Chiefs versus Bills. I cannot wait for that one. But, yeah, it should be another fun weekend of some NFL.
Yes, sir. Josh Allen versus Mahomes, round 3. This week. Excited for that. But we'll just recap here. We talked a little bit about it. Browns versus Texans. Blowout. I mean, I don't think anyone saw that coming. You know, it was pretty much 50-50 picking the Browns or the Texans, but 45-14 just seems like JOK was the only one that wanted to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, every time the camera panned on defense, number 6 was the only guy that was making plays. Other than that, it was just a Texan receiver running wide open down the sideline or up the middle. I mean, it was just an absolutely dreadful showing from the Browns defense. And we talked about that. They're not as good on the road with their defense. Yeah. The offense looked fine at first, but then once Joe Flacco threw 2 pick sixes, it was pretty much
thrown to the Texans. It was rough. Yeah. Andrew, do you have anything to say?
No, I don't. No, if I do, it was tough. I turned it off at like halftime. I couldn't watch anymore. It was rough.
So I was watching a game with some buddies, and once it hit halftime, I was like, dude, I gotta go Sheets and get some beers to drown my sorrows in. So
that was bad.
Made the most of it. But next, we got the Dolphins versus Chiefs. It was 26-7. We all predicted that the Chiefs would beat the Dolphins because they can't swim in frozen water. Anything you guys have to say about the game?
No, I think that pretty much went how expected. Tyreek Hill had his 1 home run play, but outside of that, too, and Miami just could do absolutely nothing. And Mahomes, he turned his playoff magic back on. Travis Kelce started to catch some footballs once again, so it was pretty much all systems go. Right. The Chiefs and Rashee Rice, big breakout game for his playoff debut.
Yeah, that great game by him. Andrew?
Yeah, I thought the Chiefs defense played incredible. You know, maybe the weather had something to do with it or maybe not. But like we said, you know, the Dolphins just don't beat teams that have winning records. It just doesn't happen. I think they're like 1-6 or something. Mm-hmm. Chiefs offense looked good. You know, if they can continue playing like that in the playoffs, they can go far. Mahomes looked good. Kelce did not look washed finally. And then, like you said, Rice looked very good as well. So I was really impressed with what the Chiefs were able to do to the Dolphins there.
Mm-hmm. Then we have the Packers versus Cowboys, 48-32. Had Skip Bayless crying on the internet the next day. Jerry Jones is sad. He's like, am I ever going to see this team win a Super Bowl? And all I know is I'm never picking the Cowboys to win a game in the playoffs ever again.
Yeah, it's just a brutal showing from the Cowboys, who once again choked in the playoffs. Like, I was buying in on the offense this year. Obviously, their defense is pretty solid as well. I don't know if you guys play playoff best ball, but I had a decent share of some Cowboys making a run at least to the NFC Championship game. Obviously, that did not work out. So I got to give some respect to Andrew there for picking the Packers upset. I didn't expect them to absolutely blow them out, but that's what happened.
Right.
Yeah, I had to put my balls on the table and take the Packers there. I wonder if I'll put them back on the table for this show. I'll have to see. But no, the Packers just looked good from the beginning. Jordan Love continues to get it done. And the one of the big reasons I did pick the Packers was because, like I said, that the Cowboys just seem to choke. It's like sometimes you watch and you're like, what are these guys doing out there? Like, what are they doing? Right. So thought the upset was live, but was not expecting them to put up 48 and just make it look so easy for sure.
No, not at all, dude. That was crazy. Next, we have the Rams versus Lions. really good game. I mean, we all called it might be the best game. So 24-23, the Lions get it done. Surprised all of us. We all picked the Rams, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, Puka was trying his best to win the game. What do you have? 170 yards, 150?
Yeah, I mean, he set the rookie record for the regular season, and he does it again in the playoffs for, I guess, the most yards in a game from a rookie. But they did miss a holding call at the end where they grabbed Puka, and they should have had the free first down. So I think the Rams probably should have won that game because the Lions started off amazing. I think Jared Goff completed his first almost 10 passes, but they only scored 3 points in the second half. And I got to give a shout out to Matthew Stafford. That dude had a concussion, broken ribs in that game. He just kept slinging it. So shout out to him. I thought the Rams should have won, but obviously that's not what happened.
Yep. Andrew?
Yeah, I thought the Rams probably, could have won as well. I said last week this was probably the toughest game for me to call. I think I picked the Rams to win by 1. They lost by 1. Close game. But looking to see how far these lines do go into the playoffs. But Puka, man. Puka is going to be a problem for years to come. I mean, this guy's ridiculous. And I cannot wait to see what he does next season.
Yeah, it's just crazy because his combine, everybody was like, Puka's kind of slow for a receiver. And now he's just burning by DBs. It just shows track speed and football speed are two different things.
Mm-hmm. So, Matthew Stafford always locks in on that wide receiver one. And it seems like he took over from Cooper Kupp. So he should be great for fantasy for the next couple of years.
They pass the baton to Puka for years to come. Next, we had the Bills versus Steelers, 31-17. We all got that right. I mean, I was kind of shocked by how hard the Steelers were playing, though. They didn't move over, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I believe the game started off 21-0.
Right.
So. And then they fought back. It was a one-score game for a little bit, but then the Bills
24-17.
Yeah, and then the Bills took over at the end, but they put up a fight. That's for sure.
Unlike us.
Respectable loss for the Steelers. It looked like it was on his way to being a massive blowout, not even close, but they did, fight hard at the end. It was a tough matchup for him. So, but shout out to Steelers. I didn't think they'd make the playoffs. They did, so good on them.
Mm-hmm. Then last game of the wild card, we had the Bucs versus Eagles. We all picked the Bucs, but I did not see 32-9. I don't know about you boys.
No, I definitely didn't either. But I just love seeing Baker succeed. I always loved him on the Browns. He pretty much got shoved out of town. So I like seeing him succeed. So shout out to Baker.
For sure.
I said last week I would probably pick any team against the Eagles at this point. I would pick the Panthers against them probably. So it was a no-brainer to take the Bucs. Was I expecting him to completely crush them? No, but I mean the Eagles they've looked terrible, and it continued in the playoffs, sadly.
Yeah. I will say I did predict Kelsey retires.
You did.
Yeah, that was sad. I like Kelsey. I don't like the Eagles, but I do like Kelsey.
Yeah, Kelsey's easy to root for. Just a great dude.
Mm-hmm.
All right, boys. Round 2 of the playoffs. Starting off with the Texans versus Ravens. Huge spread, by the way. 9.5 points. How you guys feel about that?
I understand it with the Texans being on the road, so they're not going to have the comfort of the dome at their stadium. So I can understand with the Baltimore being obviously, I mean, right there with the 49ers is the best team in the league. They beat the 49ers, so I guess you can give them the slight edge as being number 1 this year, but I think they'll beat them, obviously. I don't think anyone's really going to disagree with that. It's just a matter of how close this game going to be. I think they can cover 9.5. It just depends on how good Stroud's going to be on the road.
Right. Andrew?
Yeah, I think it's a tough matchup for the Texans. I really do. It's hard to completely count out CJ Stroud, but you're taking on the Ravens. You're coming off of a bye week. You're going to get fresh guys in there. Lamar Jackson's been playing incredible, probably going to be the MVP. Zay Flowers is a guy that's really stepped up. Isaiah Likely's stepped up since Mark Andrews has been injured. They got some good running backs. They have a really good defense. And I don't think the Texans defense is that great. I think Lamar's going to be able to do whatever he wants here. I think he's going to put up a ton of points. And the total set at 43.5. I think this can be a shootout. Both these offenses are really good. So, yeah, I think the Ravens do win this game, but it's hard to completely roll out CJ Stroud's different, man. So we'll see, but I got to go Ravens.
Yeah, I think the line's too big, man. This Texans team reminds me of the Bengals 2021 when they made the Super Bowl. Young team, young quarterback. Everybody was not expecting them to make the playoffs, and now they're making a run.
Right.
And the Ravens, most of their starters have been played in 2 weeks. They might be rusty. So I think the Texans could definitely cover. So score prediction. What do you guys think?
Oh, I guess I'll go first. I would probably say 27, like a 27-20 type of score, 27-17. I'm not sure which my official one is, so Drew can surprise me at the end.
I got you.
I'm going high scoring, man. I'm going I would say 38-31. I think it's a shootout. I think these guys put up some points.
Respectable. For me, I'm going Ravens 31, Texans 27. They're hitting over. So if you're a betting man, you'll thank me later. Over 43.5 points. All right. Next game, we have the Packers versus Niners. Again, at 9.5. And over-under is 50.5. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I could definitely see this one being high scoring. Obviously, the Niners got a decent defense. They do struggle versus the pass, and we know Jordan Love has looked incredible over the past couple of months. He's been one of the best quarterbacks in football. They have plenty of weapons, not big household name weapons, but they are all very solid. Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, a couple others that are missing off the top of my head right now. But they definitely have the weapons to compete. Aaron Jones, obviously a major threat in the run game. But I think the Niners are just too good overall. They have one of the best coaches. They have the one of the best schemes for offenses. Guys are wide open every single week. Debo, Kittle, I can keep going on, CMC. But I think they win here comfortably at home. Green Bay should put up a fight, but I'll definitely take the Niners.
Respect.
Yeah, man, it's a tough matchup for Jordan Love and the Packers, but like Chris said, I think they have a ton of good weapons. They don't have big, massive names like your Debos or your Ayuks or your McCaffreys, but they have honestly a very talented wide receiver room. They got Romeo Doubs, who went off last week. Jaden Reed had 0 catches. He was not a factor last week. I think that probably changes this week here. Christian Watson came back. He wasn't a factor, but I mean, these guys are really good. They got Wicks as well. Musgrave came back last week also. Aaron Jones is finally healthy and playing very good. He scored 3 touchdowns against the Cowboys, but it's a very tough matchup. Hence the line there. You got 49ers at home, rested, ready to go. It's hard to compete with this offense, and their defense isn't bad. So, yeah, I think 49ers probably get it done. I think it could be a little bit closer than this line does indicate, though. I mean, 9.5 point favorites for the 49ers. With the way these Packers have been playing, I could see it being a little bit closer than that.
Yeah. And the Packers have nothing to lose, honestly. Everybody was shocked they made the playoffs, and they beat the Cowboys how they did. Like you guys said, the 49ers probably have the best roster in the league right now.
Absolutely.
It's going to be tough. But Jordan Love's been playing great with those young receivers. Score prediction, what we got?
I'm going 33-24 for the 49ers. They're just going to be too tough to beat at home.
I'm actually close. I have 30-24.
30-24. For me, I'm going 49ers 28-20. I'm going the under for this one. Just a bold prediction for me. That's what I'll say. I was feeling it. I was asking God what he thinks, and he told me the under. All right. Next game. I'm excited for this game. We have the Bucks versus Lions. The Lions set at 6. Over-under is 48.5. What do we think, fellas?
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a good game. For fantasy purposes, this is definitely the one I'm looking to stack up a bit because the guys are going to be cheap enough. And the defenses, both are pretty brutal versus the pass. Decent run defenses, but I think Mike Evans, Amon-Ra St. Brown, all the receivers in both sides here should be able to eat. I'm going to take the Lions because they play really good at home. If this was on the road in Tampa Bay, I might say they have a chance, but I don't think they're going to be able to come into Detroit and knock off the Lions. I think Dan Campbell and their squad keeps on rolling to the NFC Championship game.
Okay.
Yeah, this is my upset of the week alert here. I can't believe this line. I mean, I think we're counting out Baker a little bit. 6.5 point dogs here for the Buccaneers. Man, Baker's looks like he's playing pissed off out there, man. It looks like he's going out there with something to prove. I don't think the Lions defense is that great. This is another game I think is going to be pretty high scoring. The total is 48.5. Both these teams have very good offenses there. So I'm going to take the upside. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a back and forth competitive game, really close game, but I'm going to lean with the Bucs, and I think Baker's going to get to the championship game next week.
Okay. For me, I was very impressed by the Lions against the Rams. You young team. Everybody's picking them to win, and they did it. Monty and Gibbs are a great 1-2 punch. I think they're going to lean on those guys. Try to keep the ball away from the Bucs offense. Baker's been dealing. I think it's going to be a really close game. I'm going the under on this game. So, score prediction.
For the record, I am rooting for Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I would say 28-24 in the Lions' favor, but I think it comes down to the end.
Gotcha. Yeah, I have a pretty close score, different result. 27-24 Buccaneers.
I'm going the Lions 24-21. Do we think Baker signs a big deal and stays with Tampa?
He should. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he finally found his home.
Yeah, he has definitely proved himself to be a good quarterback in this league. Absolutely. All right. The last game. I'm excited this is the last game of the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Chiefs versus Bills. The line is set at 3. Mahomes versus Allen, round 3. What we got?
So the interesting thing is, because obviously this is like our annual elite playoff matchup almost every single year. So this should be a good one. I remember the one game when it was like 33-36 and Mahomes had 13 seconds left to get the field goal and they got it at the very end. One of the best games I've ever seen. So the thing here is that this is Mahomes' first road playoff game. So he's always been an Arrowhead outside of the Super Bowl. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. So that's why I'm assuming the Buffalo Bills are going to be favored here, playing back home in Orchard Park. I'm personally taking the Chiefs here. I just trust Patrick Mahomes over any other quarterback. Obviously, Josh Allen, amazing game versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, absolutely balled out. And like we said, he can be the best quarterback in the NFL or he can be one of the worst. I think he's going to play up to his potential in this one. It's going to be close, but I'm always going to side with Mahomes.
Good pick there, Andrew.
Yeah, so what I'm really impressed with, and everybody's going to talk about Mahomes, Kelsey, Rice, Pacheco. What I'm actually impressed with the most with the Chiefs this year is their defense. Their defense, extremely underrated. I saw a stat on Twitter which really surprised me. So they haven't given up more than 30 points in a game all season, which is incredible. Like their defense has been looking really good. They're shutting teams down lately, and that's key. I mean, defense is key. When you have an incredible defense, you're going to win a lot of games. So they have that incredible defense. Plus they have that obviously elite offense. Patrick Mahomes is no stranger to the playoffs. Travis Kelce, like we said earlier, he doesn't look washed anymore, at least last week. We'll see if he can continue that. And then you got Rice as well, Pacheco. So they have that really good defense, that elite offense, and I think that's going to be enough to beat the Bills. I don't think they're going to run them over, nothing like that. But, Josh Allen, he makes mistakes. These Bills make mistakes. They turn the ball over, and you really can't turn the ball over against this Chiefs team. So I like the Chiefs here. And, I'm kind of surprised underdogs. I really do like him here. It's hard to go against Mahomes, always.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Man, this game, I've been tossing and turning like at night, just trying to predict who I think is going to win this game. But it is so hard to pick against Mahomes and Andy Reid, dude. They just turn it up a notch in the playoffs. I want the Bills to win. It's Patrick Mahomes, dude. And the Bills are banged up, dude. They lost their star linebacker. I think he's number 43 or something like that. They just have so many injuries. Douglas, their corners, hurt. Von Miller hasn't played good ball this whole year. I don't know. I just trust Mahomes more than Allen. Score prediction. Or
that's what I think it comes down
to say, Chris?
No, I think that's what it comes down to. Being able to trust Mahomes. Like Allen, amazing, but he can vary up or down. Mahomes, he's pretty much always up. So he's not usually going to have those down games, especially when the lights are on for sure. So Vegas has this game at 24-21 in the Bills' favor. I'm just going to flip that. I'll take the Chiefs 24-21.
I will say 28-17 Chiefs.
28-17. For me, I'm going the Chiefs 27-24. It's going to be a hard-fought win, but the Chiefs are back in the AFC Championship for the 7th year straight, it seems like.
I just want to throw something out there. I don't know if you guys remember when Kadarius Toney lined up offsides versus the Bills and they caught that touchdown called back.
Yep.
If that never happened, this game would be playing in Arrowhead right now. So it all comes down to that.
That's crazy, man.
That is insane that this is the first away game Patrick Mahomes has played in his career.
That's crazy to think because I think they've been to 5 or 6 straight AFC Championship games, all at home too. Crazy.
Yeah. I'm just so excited to watch that game,
Oh,
dude.
it's gonna be great.
To wrap up, does anyone have like a bold prediction putting you guys on the spot?
I'm not really seeing anything bold happening. I would say I think the biggest upset this week could certainly be the Bucs and Detroit game. I'm pretty confident in the Ravens and 49ers taking care of business. Now, obviously, the Chiefs and Bills is a bit of a coin flip. So I think it comes down to that Tampa Bay Detroit game. Obviously, I'm going to be rooting for Tampa Bay, but either way, whoever wins, it's going to be a good story. I mean, Lions or Bucs with Baker. So I'm happy either way.
Right.
Yeah, I guess the only hot take would be the Buccaneers. I like the Buccaneers as underdogs, and then the Chiefs as well. And I'm with Chris. I think the 49ers should probably get it done, and then the Ravens as well. But it would be nice to see Jordan Love go out there and pull off the upset. So we'll see. But it's a tough game.
Well, boys, I think that wraps up here. Thank you guys for coming on again. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Peace.